And we're on.
It's the Sini-Gang with l-boogy.
And Sterno Supernova.
What's going on there, Sterno?
Not so much, Boogie. How you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right. What's on the agenda today?
I don't know. Nothing comes to mind. You got any ideas?
What hobbies do you tend to do, I guess? Or you know.
It kind of, I like to think most of my hobbies have to do with, either creative stuff like doing something like artsy crafty or appreciating others, like artistic stuff like collecting.
So your hobby is appreciating others.
Oh, no, I'm saying I'm appreciating other like art or other artistic stuff like comic books or collecting stuff that I appreciate the thought process or the the workmanship on some stuff. I don't know. What kind of stuff do you do?
I collect comics.
Yeah, I mean, but to me, that's
I don't appreciate people who collect comics. I collect comics.
I'm talking about the creators, not the. Not like I appreciate my other fellow collectors. I'm talking about the art that goes into it. The thought
I didn't know such a simple question was such a elaborate.
What did you want? What were you?
I still don't know what you said. I appreciate the art, the artistic.
I like. Well, I'm talking about my hobbies. All kind of stem from the same idea. Like.
Yeah, I delve into the music world. I collect comics. I collect shoes. I collect lots of things. I collect toys, which relate to the comics, and sometimes I collect the music that relate to the comics. I watch a lot of movies.
The music that relates to the comics?
Yeah, well, it's like hip hop comic books, stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't know. Watching sports is a hobby, but I consider it. But
oh, okay.
I still don't know what you said.
I don't know. I'm still waking up. All right, I was asleep.
The artistic.
No, I think it stems from the idea. Like I like creating. I like doing like painting.
So you draw.
Not just draw, but I like doing graphic design, doing logos for people, doing, like I started doing other stuff like using my laser engraver machine for creating stuff, that kind of thing. I like doing that. So I don't know if that's more of a hobby or just part of what I like to do.
Yes, that's
professionally as well, because I do that for money sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's for money. It's not a hobby.
That's what I'm saying. So,
but if you do something as a hobby and sell it later, like if you were doing art, let's say you like painting and you sell that painting, then that's okay. But it's one thing if you actually do it for, someone says, hey, I need something laser engraved.
Yeah.
Then that's different.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just depends. I mean, so a lot of people said like there's a tendency for some people to make hobbies into like you try to make it into a commercial endeavor, and it's not necessarily a good thing. So yeah, I mean, like I said, sometimes I do it for fun, sometimes I do it for money. So whatever.
Is there a hobby that you would like to do but you can't because of I don't know, financial issues or something? I don't know.
I haven't thought about.
Because that's the main thing that keeps me from buying. Well, obviously, like I said, I buy shoes.
Yeah. I mean,
that's like $150 a pop.
You're right. I mean, like you and I collectors, but we don't collect like the high. Well, you do sometimes, but I would love to be an art collector, but I don't have the cash for most of the nice art that's in there. I usually buy prints. I don't buy originals or whatever. I only got like a couple of paintings from just local artists that I happen to know. And that's pretty much it. So
yeah, I don't have any paintings. Well, actually, I have one that was given to me, but I didn't consider that part of collecting. Right. I don't even buy prints or whatever at Comic Cons or whatever anymore, because I have them and I'm like, why do I have these?
What I'm saying? Yeah, I know.
I have so many. I'm like, why do I even have these?
I mean, like last year or a couple years ago, I bought a bunch and I was gonna frame them all. I just haven't got to them, so I'm like, man, if I,
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed during the last few Comic Cons we've been to, I haven't bought a thing.
No, you told me straight up. Me.
I don't know if you noticed, but
you're like, I'm not buying any more prints. I don't do that anymore. I'm like, So I noticed when you told me straight to my face. I'm like, okay.
I was trying to be subtle.
You need to look up the word subtle then, because that was not subtle, but that's cool. You straight up said, yeah. I don't even look at this stuff. I don't even. I mean, because I was with you the first couple of times that we did the local one, and you bought a bunch of stuff, and
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And I did too. I mean, but it's like only a few things actually made it up and framed. I mean, even stuff for like I bought some expensive ones that I was like prints, and I bought locally that for different events in the area, and I just haven't put up there.
There's a lot of times I buy them, and I'm like, ooh, this will make a great Christmas present or birthday present for a certain person.
Mm-hmm.
I just completely forget I even have it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll start giving them away now, 5-10 years later.
Right.
Sometimes it's like it's a surprise to me what I have. You're going through, it's like, oh wow, this is cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you keep buying stuff and you just kind of put it off for later, you end up with a whole bunch of stuff.
It's like new to you again.
Yeah, I guess, but yeah, like, man,
it's like money you find that you didn't know you had.
Right, I guess that's true. So yeah. I mean, yeah, if you do end up eventually using it, that's good. But if you never do, that's kind of bad. That's a waste of money if you don't use it. At least if you leave it in the roll that it came in, and for like years and years, and like, oh crap, this is something from 2005 that I meant to put up, like whatever. And like, oh, crap.
You don't know how many times after these conventions or whatever, I'll go home and like the little packet or whatever I have, I'll just put it away. Sometimes it's in a bag. I'll put it away and never open it again for like a long time.
Yeah.
So then I open it up. I completely forgot what I had bought or what I had picked up. Sometimes it's free stuff. So
no, I'm the same way. I have like a little portfolio thing that I put a lot of the prints that we purchased or I purchased over the different events. And I'm like, man, because I try to empty it out and bring it with me until I can get more prints. And I'm like, this is a lot of stuff in here that I haven't put up yet. So yeah, I'm trying to cool it now too. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 things per event, maybe if it's like autographed or something special, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it needs to really, really speak to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was reading something. It's like, what hobby can you do with little to no money?
Drawing.
Yep, and then I'm reading a discussion on Reddit, and drawing is like the number 2 thing that everyone's saying. It costs like $2 to buy.
Bird watching, I guess.
Bird watching is on the list also, and that's the one that's getting like a lot of discussion.
I mean, it depends on if you're going to buy high-powered binoculars and like.
Well, that's what the discussion is. It says you start off watching the birds in your backyard. Next thing you know, you're calling off sick to chase down a rare bird with your $500 binoculars.
I didn't think of it getting so obsessive about it. Like,
I'm like, really? Let me see.
Next thing, Boogie's like, yeah, I took a week off to go to whatever to watch the migratory patterns of the red-breasted whatever. So sure.
I mean, I every now and then I look at the backyard and I'll see like a bird. I'm like, ooh, that's a weird bird.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a cardinal. That's about as far as I can go. Like that's a blue jay.
Well, we're in Virginia. There's lots of, well, not lots, but it's not uncommon to see a bright red bird out there.
That's not a state bird.
That's our state bird.
Yeah, the cardinal.
The cardinal, and every now and then
blue jays and robins and all that other stuff.
And then we also live near a dump trash. What do you call it?
Landfill. Yeah, a lot of seagulls.
Yeah, you get seagulls and those big ass vulture albatross looking things. I don't know what they're called. They look like big ass vultures.
Yeah, they're not vultures.
And every now and then I'm driving on the road and there's like roadkill and they're all there. I'm like, are they gonna move or am I gonna run them over?
Yeah.
And if I run them over, it's gonna be messy.
I mean, we get tons of hawks too and all the other stuff. So
bald eagles.
I haven't seen a bald eagle yet.
There's actually 3 that live back here behind you. Actually, there might be 2 now. I heard one of them may have died.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Stumpy Lake. They live in Stumpy Lake, which is your backyard, basically.
Yeah, I thought you meant my immediate backyard. No. Like, no, I think I don't see no bald eagles.
You have woods in your backyard, and the woods are connected to a big ass thing. And what I've heard is 3 bald eagles live there. It might be 2. And I think one of them recently died.
Oh.
and everyone's like up in arms, but I think it died of natural deaths. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it
I don't know.
happens.
But people always complain when a bird dies like that.
So wait, was that so? What was the number one?
Number one, I didn't say it was whittling. You buy a $3 knife from a gas station and some sticks, and then you make art.
So, is there a difference between whittling and wood carving?
I have no clue.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. It just popped in my head. Like, I you know, you see all those people on the porch, you know, like the concept of the people whittling away and doing stuff, and then like I don't know if you
Whittling is what country people do.
Yeah, but
wood carving is what the city people do.
Is that pretty much?
I don't know. I'm making this up. I don't know. I don't know the difference. I'm sure there might be something.
Do you remember there's like the old movie from years ago called the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas?
I never watched it because when that movie came out, I was like 2.
Yeah, I happened to, I happened to catch it. Like I don't know. Like I remember, I think my family was on like a trip, and it was one of those movies that was playing on HBO, and we were just like, my parents didn't realize what we were watching and all that.
The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Yeah, that was pretty like whoa, like that. But there's a scene where Jim Neighbors, you know, the guy that played Gomer Pyle, he's whittling, I think, but he's like carving a chain out of wood, like a movable chain. And I was like, that just impressed me that it was actually possible that someone could do that. Because I mean, I can figure out how to do it now, but I just as a kid, I was like, he made a chain out of, you know, that's like when I think of people whittling, I'm like, to me, it's the high level of that, making a chain out of wood, you know.
Yeah, I always think of like trinkets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like he actually, you know, it's all linked together. It was mobile and everything. I was like, whoa, you could bind somebody with a chain of wood. So that's just weird.
Whittling, but that's not something I would get into. I don't know. It's not cool to me. I don't know.
Well, if you say wood carving, to me, that's more cool than whittling. I don't know why that's the difference. Wood carving sounds like art. Whittling sounds like.
Well, when I think of wood carving, I think of people actually doing like pieces or like something. When I think of whittling, I think of a guy who's just sitting on his porch.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
When I think of wood carving, I think of a guy in a studio with tools.
Yeah, exactly.
Whittling, I think of a guy with a pocket knife and a stick of wood that he found in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, that's piece of woodland wood, and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So that's what I think of, but you know, it's really the same thing to me. But I don't know. I don't know none of that because not my world. But it's a world maybe we should enter.
The whittling world.
I'm trying to find something. Just use that or bird watching.
Why is it down to those two choices?
Well, those are the only ones we've said so far.
We were always talking. I mean, you were before like, hey, let's do that thing with the pine cars, the wooden car thing. I forgot what you call it again.
Soapbox derby. Well, not soapbox.
No, not soapbox derby. That's the one we actually ride.
Yeah, the pine car derby thingy.
Yeah, I forgot the words for it. But it's not slot card. It's something else, right?
No. It's pine car derbies. I don't know what they're called.
You wanted to do that at one point. I'm like, okay, sure. I mean,
because it's sort of the same thing. I wanted to find a hobby we could get into
that was cheap.
That's very cheap. We walked into the hobby store.
Right.
We walked into a hobby store, and basically the cheapest hobby in the hobby store was pine car derby cars.
Yeah, I think
it wasn't. You know, was it the car the RC cars?
Yeah, that's that's the one I wanted to get into, but it's like the one I want is like $400 or $500, and I'm like,
yeah,
like I don't know. The older I get, the less I want to do that.
And we've dabbled in that world.
Yeah, we got some cheap-ish ones.
It was still hundreds of dollars or stuff.
Which one are we talking about?
Well, I guess you never did.
No,
you never got into the electric $100 ones.
No, because I already had like one when I was younger. When we were older then, we were already like out of college, but I had some when my dad bought me one a long time ago and I wrecked it, so I felt kind of bad about it. An old Tamiya Grasshopper, you know. I forgot, what did you get? You got like a...
I had a WRX. What's Brother Butterfly had what did he have?
I don't even remember.
It was all street cars.
Yeah.
We had all this, you know, street cars. It wasn't like dune buggies or whatever.
Yeah.
We were street racers.
Yeah, I was just thinking of the ones we got from Radio Shack, the ones that
No,
were
no,
really
no,
cheap.
no,
Those
no,
are the cheap
no,
ones.
no,
I was
no,
like,
no, not
that's what I'm
those.
talking about, dabbling. You know,
Mod races or whatever. No, we were
X mods, X mods.
yeah, we had the actual, $200 RCs.
I forgot you guys that got into that stuff. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, we would paint the shells and change out
Yeah.
tires and buy the different remotes.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally forgot you guys did that. That was kind of like, when you were all into the aquarium stuff, and I just like I wanted to do one, but I didn't really get one, and you guys were buying like 75-gallon tanks and decorating all that stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, you were doing the whole saltwater aquarium thing. I guess that's a hobby.
Yeah, because freshwater fish bore me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we wanted
I spit as freshwater.
I do. I would only buy one freshwater fish, and that would be the arowana. If you
is that the one that escapes, and is that yours?
Yeah, it's like an expensive fish, and it keeps jumping out of the damn tank.
The one we didn't find till like months later. Like, oh, there it is, all desiccated and
we assumed another fish ate it, but then it jumped out of the tank and fell behind the
like furniture.
Behind the cabinet.
When we were moving or something, and we're all like,
they look like eels.
Yeah,
they're like big ass fish.
Back when we were roommates,
snake-like fish.
Yeah.
And they're awesome, but you need a big ass tank, and even our 75-gallon tanks weren't enough they weren't good enough for that. You needed like 150-gallon tank,
right?
And then they grow to be awesome creatures,
basically
like like dinosaur creatures, dinosaur fish, whatever, prehistoric fish. I don't know.
I didn't know that last part, but okay.
Yeah, they're supposedly like, the descendants of fish from the Jurassic period or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Or they're Japanese or something.
One or the other. Same difference, right?
They are awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, freshwater fish sort of bore me.
All right.
Cichlids and all that. They're nice and all.
Yeah, you just at a different level, right? It's like,
but because to me, those fish, you just buy them and then you just watch them. That's it.
I know. What do you do with your other fish? I mean,
you have to pay attention to it all the time. You have to like.
So you're saying because it's lower
more care. Yeah.
Yeah. So you think that it's lower maintenance, it's not as cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
It gets boring after you buy it
because
you look at it for like an hour.
So you're saying like the higher maintenance fish is kind of like showing your skill at doing this.
Yeah, it does take skill for a saltwater tank, whereas a freshwater tank, you just buy the fish and buy some pretty plants.
But isn't that like fine too? Just
yeah. I mean, I'm not hating on it. It's just not me.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, but to me, a saltwater tank, it lives. It's forming. It's doing its own thing. It's. I mean, I'm assuming you have live rock and all that too. But
yeah.
But it's transforming and stuff's growing and it has its own life. So
right.
So other than
so you're building an ecosystem versus just having a fish in the tank.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you're finding different things in there and yeah.
Okay.
It does take more work and a lot more money.
Right. So that makes it a higher level of the hobby. Okay.
Yeah. So, do you consider writing a hobby? Like writing?
It depends, like.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't do it.
I don't think I'd do it as a hobby.
Well,
I mean, you've done articles and stuff.
Yeah, and then throughout high school.
Yeah.
And because in college I really didn't focus on writing or anything, but in high school my teachers really pushed me to become, go to the writing field. They thought I was awesome. I mean, I wasn't bad, but
yeah,
it wasn't my thing. But yeah, my English classes, I told some amazing stories. I created some awesome stuff, and I probably could still, but I choose not to.
Yeah, I mean,
every now and then a story pops in my head. I'm like, ooh, that would be an awesome story, book, something. And then,
well, I mean, don't you think it also? I mean, at this point, people that like your contemporaries have had so many. The people that actually decided to be in the writing field have like a lot more practice and more polish, and you know what I'm saying. Like if you try to jump back into it now, you're kind of like,
No,
you don't think so?
no.
No, you feel like you could just be like up there and putting out some really good stuff if you really tried.
What's her name didn't really become a writer until she was like in her 40s.
What?
Harry Potter chick.
Oh, you're talking about Rowling?
Yeah, isn't that her? I don't know. I never read any of her books, and I don't like Harry Potter. But
it was, I'm gonna also say, don't you need to be like well read? Like I haven't read basically, whatever.
Me don't read books.
You're actually way more well read than I am. I don't really read that much book. I read like fiction stuff. Unless like I'm all of a sudden, if it's like a topic that really excites me, I might buy a book or two on it. But I don't really read just for pleasure anymore. So I mean, on a regular basis, like I said, I do pleasure reading as far as like escapism, fantasy. Like the last thing I read was the Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Rings. Excuse me, the Game of Thrones stuff. So the Song of Ice and Fire. So yeah, that's pretty much the last thing I've picked up. What was the last thing you read?
Children. What is it called? Children of. I can't remember the name of the book.
Okay.
Something with bones and children.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not well read. I don't even know what's out there.
Children of Bone and Blood.
Oh. Is that
It's a I don't know how to describe it. It's a I don't want to call it a young adult book, but it's probably the same people that read Harry Potter.
Is it like a Twilight-ish kind of thing? Or what's the other one? The one was what's her name from The Descendants? You know what I'm talking about? The girl that was in Descendants and she became the lead for the whole series of movies. It's some crap.
No. When you say Descendants, I think of Disney.
And I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the one with I meant the Descendants movie with George Clooney.
Oh, I don't know. Anna Kendrick. I mean, not Anna Kendrick.
Woodley, not Woodley.
Shailene Woodley.
Yeah, and then she was part of like the whole series of movies that was like based on a bunch of books. I don't know. It's like Ascendant. There's like they're one word titles, and the beginning. The first one was D, like the I don't know, it had something to do with being against the government or like being like a some sort of outlier from the government. I forget the word it was anyway. But anyway, never mind. So, but was it just plain fictional kind of dystopian thing or
no? I mean it's fiction. It's about these kids who are like children of a king. They have magic and it's that. There's love stories. There's political stuff. Discrimination. It's good. Jimmy Fallon told me to read it, so I read it.
Oh, okay. So he's like, what's his name?
Oprah.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no. It was because there was a vote. He had 5 books to vote from, and they said all of us we're going to read one of these books. I actually voted for another book, but Children of Blood and Bone won. So I ended up reading that.
Yeah. Okay. I just looked up what I was talking about with the Divergent series, Insurgent, Allegiant, all that stuff that Shailene Woodley was part of. So I don't know. I was trying to refer to a young adult book. Wow.
Yeah, I don't read any of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. But I was like, I
tried when Twilight first came out. Let me just say that when Twilight first came out as a book, not the movie. When it came out as a book, it was like a big, Twilight #1, the book was a big seller. Like, oh shit, it's the #1 bestseller. So I had no clue what it was about, so I picked it up. I started reading it. I read 5 chapters. I said, this is crap. This sucks. This is stupid. No one's gonna read like this. This will go nowhere. So
you called it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I'm an expert on this stuff. these Twilight books. No one's
from
ever
your
gonna,
5 chapters.
no
of
one's
the first
ever gonna
book.
read this crap, this stupid crap about some girl that moves from Seattle to some small city and weird stuff happens. No.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I say that now and people can say ha ha ha, but at that time when it was just a book that no one had heard of, it was crap.
Yeah, I haven't
even. Still is crap.
Have you watched any of the films at all?
I saw the first one.
Was it worth it?
No, it's crap.
Okay, just checking.
And I like, what's her name? Kristen Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
I like her as an actor, and I know people shit on her for her monotonous,
her range, or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like it. Adventureland. She's awesome in Adventureland. Same character, but works at an amusement park. But yeah.
Same character. But, her range is fine.
I'm okay with it. She gets it on with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
Who is like, who and the other kid, Mark Zuckerberg. What's his name?
Oh, the guy who played Lex Luthor. Oh,
yeah,
I forgot his name.
He gets shitted on because he liked her, and Ryan Reynolds was like his guy he looked up to.
Are we talking about Zombieland?
No, Adventureland.
Oh, which one's the?
Yeah, he's in Zombieland too.
Oh, okay.
Zombieland also, because they are coming out with Zombieland 2.
Yeah,
which is also amazing.
Okay. She wasn't in Zombieland.
No, okay. There's only like 4 people in Zombieland, or 5 if you add Bill Murray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Emma Stone, Abby, what's her name? Abby Breslin.
Uh-huh.
And Woody Harrelson and Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh. I now need to know what his name is, because we're going to keep calling him that.
And a bunch of zombies are in it too.
Yeah.
And Bill Murray.
Jesse Eisenberg. That's who we're talking about, and Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, no wonder it's kind of hard to. They're close, sort of, their last names. Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor. I didn't agree with Lex Luthor, but whatever.
I think I am going to try bird watching.
Are you gonna be like half a year down, like 6 months down the road, you're gonna be like, hey, look at this, check out this like high powered scope that I have, and I can
see. I don't see that happening to me.
Yeah, whatever.
I may buy a $20 set of binoculars.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that happening.
And you find something bargain basement, that like a really good deal on something, and the next thing you know, you start saving up for something good, really good, because
Because I really don't get the bird watching thing. I don't get it. I would like to get it. I'll figure it out.
Well, I mean,
although I do hear of people who like try to like put certain foods out to attract birds. I'm not that. No.
Yeah, as far as that, I want to put out a hummingbird feeder. That's pretty much as far as I want to go with that. Hummingbirds are the only ones I really care about attracting. I don't
like hummingbirds. They're weird. They're scary.
Why are they scary? Wait, they're scary?
Yeah, I have a hummingbird fly right at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
I didn't know what it was at first. I was like, what the hell is it?
Those things are scary.
But then I saw like some video of them just like fluttering around. It's kind of cool. Like a whole bunch of them. And it's like, that's neat. I want some hummingbirds around my house. That'd be neat.
On my way here, it's dark right now. It's nighttime right now.
Yeah.
On my way here, I was walking in my car and there was a cat. Big cat. Big. I mean, it's a
Did it have
cat.
like ring? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Not here. It was not here. It was when I was at home.
Okay.
And I was going to my car to get in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the cat walking slowly. It saw me, so it walked under my car. I said, oh, crap.
Mm-hmm.
This cat's under my car.
Right.
And I'm not a cat person.
No.
I don't like cats at all.
Nope.
In fact, my thing is I'm not going to go under my car to shoo it away because it's going to scratch me and I'm going to kill it.
Okay. Sure.
So I get in my car and I turn the engine on, thinking that'll spook it,
Mm-hmm.
It'll, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm looking around my car. I don't see no cat anywhere.
Uh-huh.
So I start moving it slowly. I'm starting backing up a little, not knowing where the cat is at. I'm backing. I back up like 3 inches.
Uh-huh.
and I don't see it. So I move forward 3 inches. Still
Uh,
don't see it. I said,
oh.
screw this. So I just backed up all the way and went. I don't think I saw the cat. I didn't run over it. That's one
Okay.
thing. I didn't run over
I was
it.
trying to figure out where you're going with the story. So
No, the point is the cat disappeared. It's either clinging to the undercarriage of my car,
or it left and you just didn't see it leave.
yeah, or it disappeared.
What, went through some other dimensional gate? And
Yes, yes, it did.
it was some sort of familiar or some kind of.
It is not a
alien.
cat. It's a wizard.
It's a scroll in disguise or something.
Yeah,
You think? Sure. Okay.
because I looked all around. It didn't run away.
I thought you were going with something different because, like, in front of my house, when I got home one time, I saw a cat, and I wasn't sure if it was like a bobcat or a wildcat. You know, like a real, like. And I was like, I just come from Hooters, and I had a bunch of like chicken wings, and I'm like, all right, do I get out of my car?
It's gonna smell it on you.
Yeah,
you smell like food.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What, like, do I wait for it to go? I don't know. And then, like, I'm like, screw it, I want to go inside. I'm like, do I defend the chicken wings? Do I care enough about the chicken? You know, like, and I'm like going through this whole list of what could happen. I'm like, man, why I have short sleeves on? It's gonna get me. It's like I'd rather. I'm like, this is so dumb. You know. I found out later that it's probably some kind of domesticated cat that looks like a wildcat. So I mean, it wasn't. It had like rings on its tail and had like weird spots on it. It wasn't like a normal marking, so that's why I thought it might be some wild kind of cat. So yeah, but yeah, I thought your story was gonna end up with some blood on your car. So I was like,
that would have been the first. That's what I would have led with.
Okay,
I killed it.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, I killed a cat on my way here.
You sound a little too excited about it. Like, yo, I killed a cat.
I've killed squirrels on my way here.
Me, I've done big seagulls, pretty good big seagulls, and a raccoon. Those are the biggest things I've killed. You haven't hit a deer yet, have you?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No, and I'm always careful because deer will fuck up your car.
Yeah, I don't know. They keep on saying you're supposed to speed up when you hit a deer.
No,
isn't that
no?
Make it fly over your car, isn't that what they said? Or is that like old non?
I think that's I don't know. You haven't seen Get Out, so
oh, it's like old advice that no one follows anymore.
If you can stop,
well, yeah, obviously, if you're not going to be able to hit if you can stop and not hit the deer, yeah, you stop and not hit the deer. But if like a deer comes at you, you're supposed to.
I don't speed up. No,
you speed up for that's different.
A rabbit.
Yeah, no. As soon as I said, I was like, that's dumb. That's a totally different thing.
Kill the rabbits.
It's automatically think of opera, but yeah.
But if you do the bird hiking thing, I mean the bird watching thing, you get it. Maybe I'll do the hiking.
I could actually see it if you did bird photography. You know, if you were like taking pictures, that to me that would be more. You'd end up with something tangible from it, and it might not be that cheap because depending on the equipment you use. But I could see that as less. I don't know.
But hiking is another hobby that people say you can combine the hiking and the bird watching thing. Because we do have a lot of
hiking trails and stuff.
Hiking trails around this area, which at one time, a few months ago, I'm like, you know what? I want to, I have a bike. One thing, I have a dirt bike, a bike I can take out there. That I'm like, you know what? Let me hit up some of these trails and explore. But the cool thing nowadays, I have this thing called Google Maps.
Ooh, how does this work? This Google Map thing.
So with a lot of the trails in Virginia Beach area, you can actually bring up Google Maps and street view the hiking trails.
Oh,
which is cool.
Yeah,
I'm like, cool. Yeah, let me do that. And we actually have a hiking trail like 2 miles from here. That's really cool that I've never heard of. And it's like in the middle of nowhere that like you wouldn't expect it. It's like you go in like this little off the main street, comes full road. You go off the main street,
right?
There's like a small patch of woods that opens up into a huge patch of woods that you wouldn't know. But I was like, ooh, let me go there. I can check that out. It's not far. So let me Google map it first. All of a sudden, I'm looking through this Google thing. There's snakes everywhere. Not only are there snakes everywhere, there's like foxes and like all these other weird things. And I'm like, some people like that stuff. Some people like, ooh, look, there's a fox or there's a raccoon. I don't like that.
Okay, this is a dumb question, but okay, Virginia is an open carry state, right? Like as far as firearms.
Yes.
Do people go around with guns when they hike? Is that like a thing you do to protect yourself from wildlife, or is that like
they do when they hunt?
No, I'm just saying, but like if you were, like you said, like snakes and foxes, if they were, we had reports of rabid animals. Like, do people go around with like armed just in case something like that comes up?
I don't know of anyone who does that.
And
I would think it's frowned upon.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Well, if you're open carry, it's legal, right? In this state, I mean,
but a lot of times, if you were to, let's say you were go into one of these parks,
right?
First Landing parks, whatever, where there's wildlife, and you end up shooting one of these wildlife,
right?
People will think you went in there to shoot the wildlife, and you could say, "Oh, it was attacking me." Then they could say, "Hey, what did you know? There's wildlife in there." It's like you went into their house. It's like you went into the fox's house and shot the fox.
Right.
So you come out as the bad guy.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just like, well, I mean,
you're going into their territory.
I'm just wondering.
And then killing them.
Yeah, the thought just popped in my head. Like, like some people are open. They carry weapons almost everywhere they go anyway.
I know.
And if they go hiking, they would carry the weapon just in general. So like, I'm just wondering if that would work. Like, would they be? I'm not saying go out and shoot animals like just because let me go hiking and maybe I'll see a snake. I could, I'm saying to protect yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, some people. I mean, like, there are bears in this area.
Yeah,
not in the ones I want to.
I don't think you want a pistol or something going to help you against a bear.
Yeah, and I would think
they just piss them off, basically.
People have rifles and all that for bears, but I don't think they're going in there looking to shoot a bear.
Right.
Although in Chesapeake, I believe it's legal for like 3 months of the year or something to help control the bear population. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a hiker. I'm not a hunter or hiker. But we should do that sometime. Let's explore that.
Without a fire.
Right now, because right now we're recording in winter.
Yeah.
There's no snakes, I believe. Right now,
they should all be like in hibernation or whatever you call
whatever
it.
they do,
dormant state, whatever.
Yes, whatever they do.
Yeah,
and there's also no ticks right now.
Oh, that's a big deal here. Yeah, especially with you,
because I hate ticks.
Well, you're also scared that it'll make you a non-meat eater, right?
Yeah, there's a certain tick that makes you allergic to meat.
Yeah,
and that would basically make me kill myself.
You are very much a carnivore, so yeah, I get that. Would you carry around like a walking stick or something? Or
sure.
Okay.
I've been to the mountains and I've been hiking in the mountains, and yeah, that was the first thing we all did was like look for a stick to play the part. I mean, it wasn't really for walking, but it's like it's what everyone's doing. Everyone walks with a stick, so let's walk with a stick.
Oh, okay, sure.
I mean, I could have hiked up that mountain fine without a stick, but hey. Everyone else had one.
Would you carry a knife?
Yeah, I had a knife.
Okay.
I had a knife. I had a bunch of stuff with me.
I was talking to my boss about that. Like, we were, it's like, if you go hiking, do you carry around like a snake bite kit? I mean, you mentioned the snakes.
Yep. And I had a snake bite kit.
Yeah. And my boss was like, those don't things that don't do anything. they're just there to make you feel better about what's going on. But
I felt better.
But it's
like a placebo.
In his opinion, they were just mainly. Yeah, placebo. Something to make you feel like you're safer than you really are. Because if you really get bit, you really just need to go to a hospital. That's what he said. Like it's not going to do that much. And some things you're not supposed to do anyway. They just give it to you just so. Oh, okay, I'm covered.
Yep. And part of that was my naivety. I was naive. I didn't know what kind of snakes. I've seen garter snakes and all that.
Yeah.
But when I was Google mapping this stuff, I saw some big ass. Like
we got copperhead and
I saw some nasty looking snakes.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, we should not mess with those snakes.
I don't know. We have a copperhead, cottonmouth. I forget what we got.
All that.
Yeah, I don't think we have rattlers, do we?
Not in this area.
Yeah,
the state has rattlers, but we don't.
Okay.
There are some in the mountains, which in time will get to us.
Huh?
In time.
Are they migrating?
Yeah, maybe in like 100 years.
Oh, I'm not gonna worry about that then.
Yeah. So, although I have heard stories of someone here, someone every now and then will hear something, think it's a rattlesnake. They're like, yeah, maybe it's here.
Did you carry a machete?
No.
That's too much. That's too much.
That's
too far. Okay, just checking.
I'm not hiking through uncharted territory. Or walking down a walking path that's made.
No, I guess I'm thinking in farther advanced, like once you get past the local stuff and go like, hey, I'm gonna go out to.
No, we don't do that.
Okay. We don't do that now. I don't know.
What about chess?
We can do chess. I got it set right now. I'm not very good.
Every now and then I will try to play chess on my phone or on my computer.
Yeah.
And I think I'm decent. But then I
got beat by a 10-year-old.
I can watch people play chess and I'm like, yo, they're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if you know who I was talking about, but I'm thinking we got beat by a 10-year-old. But
yeah, and I think I could beat him.
Well, he knows a lot more. He actually was reading a lot of books. He was like, chess is a big part of his life. So I kind of give him that he knows, like, hey, you're doing this, you should do this. And I'm like, crap. 10-year-old's calling me on chess. I only learned from playing my dad, and he only taught me up to a certain level, and that's cool. We just did it for fun, but I never like read on the different kinds of gambits and I don't know what else you call it, different kind of formations that people do. So
well, I learned from Chess Master 5000.
I was gonna say, like, I think I learned from Chess Master 3000. I didn't go any further than Chess Master 3000. I learned on the Radio Shack. One of those things that like it tells you how to play against yourself, but it's like this was from like the late 80s, early 90s, like chessboard my dad bought me when I was a kid. So yeah, I used to play it on on road trips. So
I used to try geocaching years ago. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that.
You told me about it. But the problem with that at the time, this is when it first, I don't want to say first started, but the first time people were sharing it and learning about it.
Yeah.
And this was before smartphones. This was before an iPhone.
Was this before the military allowed them to do a little more detailed you know what I'm talking about? There was like the GPS at a certain point was kind of being I guess limited by the military. But then like all of a sudden they opened up some technology. There was a point where they let it be a little more detailed because it was like,
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
But like I said, this was before smartphones. So basically what I did when I first started, I would go on my computer, I would join chat rooms and people would give the coordinates of where something is at in Virginia Beach or whatever. So I would go to, I don't think Google Maps was a thing at the time. There was a MapQuest or something.
You'd have to get wasn't that the thing where you had to get like a dedicated GPS attachment to your computer?
I wasn't there yet. At the time, I would type it in MapQuest, the coordinates, and then it would put it on the map, and then I would print out the map and go to the spot. And then I was like, okay, this is cool.
He actually printed out maps. Like that sounds so.
You still print out maps?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I haven't done that in years.
Please, I joked you last year. I was like, why are you printing out a map? We needed directions to something, and you printed out the maps to get there.
That wasn't last year. That was like a long time ago.
I don't remember, but you did it, and I joked you about it.
Yeah, I know, but that was years ago. I have a smartphone now. Like, you know what?
So, yeah, and then I took it to the next step. I went to CompUSA, and I bought me one of these little square GPS locator things that you USB to your laptop. And at the time, laptops weren't small, but so I would have to carry my laptop with this GPS thing that really didn't work that well.
Oh, really? I know
it sucked.
I never had one of those because I wasn't into geocaching at all.
I mean, I used it on car trips also when we went to Florida or whatever. But like I said, it sucked. I mean, now, like you have, let's say you have your phone up and it's supposed to be, you're trying to locate where you are, and all of a sudden it says you're like 3 blocks away.
Yeah, it doesn't happen as much as lately, but yeah.
Yeah, it happens every now and then.
Yeah.
Or it'll say, hey, you're somewhere else. Yeah. The smartphone technology is 20 times better than that $200 GPS I bought that I had to plug into my computer. This is a long time ago. So technology's changed, and yeah, it sucked because I'm geocaching in the middle of somewhere and it's saying I'm supposed to be there, and it's really.
So are people still doing geocaching, or is that like done?
Yeah, it's now that smartphones are a thing.
So it's an easier thing to do.
Yeah, and I don't do it because it's
too easy.
Yeah, it's so many people doing it. It's like, man,
it's not cool anymore. Yeah. Everybody can do it.
It's one thing if you're like, one of
elite people that actually have to go through the process of getting the right equipment and learning all this stuff.
No, yeah, but now you go to a spot and find, something, and there's like 15-year-old girls there too. I mean, it's like, this is not cool. So
I guess in a way the Pokemon Go stuff was sort of like that same idea.
It's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go spawned from that. People don't realize that, but hey, it did. Which is why I don't do it anymore. I'm like, yo.
All right.
Pokemon Go is just geocaching. Although if I did go like to the Philippines,
yeah,
I would do it there. Just a way to explore.
Oh, okay, yeah. What geocaching Pokemon?
Not Pokemon Go. No.
Like what?
So, I don't know. Is there any other ones that you hobbies I'm talking about?
I don't know. I would like to learn like real metalworking, but that's just not going to happen.
That's expensive, also.
Yeah, I want to learn to weld and make really sturdy, strong, big things or whatever. But yeah, again, you said what's one of the things that is a little bit out of your reach because of money. I mean, I don't actually think that money-wise it's not that far out of reach. Just that I'd have to like give up other things. There are people that are like, they have certain hobbies and they put their money towards that. But if you have a bunch, you only have so much money to spread around. Well, at least I do. So yeah.
I mean, there's a ton out there that we didn't touch upon: baking, gardening, card throwing, magic.
Card throwing. I was like, you pick card throwing to put in that list? Okay, sure.
Believe me, have you tried it?
I know what you're talking about. I just didn't
throwing cards into watermelons.
I've seen it done. Yeah. Do knife throwing. We can do
card throwing. Knife throwing is simple.
Anybody can throw a knife.
Yes. Okay. Anyone can throw a knife into a watermelon. If I took a knife and threw it into a watermelon, would you be impressed?
If you did it well, depending on the distance.
From 5 feet away.
Okay, is darts a hobby or is it a sport? Or is it even neither one?
I call it a hobby.
Okay. But anybody can throw a dart. You know what I'm saying? That kind of goes
from accurately to a tiny hole with scoring.
Okay.
If I threw a dart into a watermelon, would you be impressed?
It depends on how far away the watermelon was.
20 feet away. No.
I kind of would be.
If I threw a card into a watermelon from 5 feet away, you'd be like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I'd be more impressed. But I'm saying there's still a level of being impressed in both instances. So,
yeah, well, you'd be impressed if I threw a dart into a watermelon from 100 yards. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that, though.
Okay.
Let's do a Tagalog word of the day.
Sure. This is a part of our podcast where we educate our listeners on the Filipino language. Neither Boogie nor I are actual native speakers of Filipino or Tagalog. So if we get some aspect of the word incorrect, like its pronunciation, its general usage, or some nuance of its meaning, feel free to let us know because I don't know why I'm talking so fast. Because we value your feedback and we want to make sure if we get things right whenever possible. But please keep in mind that we have said in the past and we will continue to say that we are not an information education-based podcast. We're not really there. You don't use us as a reference for anything, but it's just our intention to share a piece of the culture, the language. So like if someone were to use a word or phrase in your presence, you have an idea what they're talking about. Or if you're feeling up to it, you can use it yourself and impress your friends with your knowledge of Tagalog or Filipino. So, Boogie, do you have a word?
Let's go with bago.
Bago.
Bago. Bago.
Bago.
Bago ang sapatos mo. Or bago ang
Hobby mo.
yeah. Bago.
Bago, meaning new.
New.
So let's make bago our
Word of the day.
Bago.
All right. Anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Make sure you visit our website, www.sini-gang.com.
Or email us at thesinigang@gmail.com.
Follow us on Twitter at The Sini-Gang.
Find us on facebook.com/thesinigang. And look for our videos on YouTube. Do a search for our URL, www.cine-gang.com. And you should be able to find our videos pretty easily. And if you get there, please like, subscribe, comment, and do that whole bell thing so you get an idea of whenever we put up something new. So until next time, this is Sterno Supernova.
And this is l-boogy, the elemental one, saying thanks for listening and
Sige na. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening. For tuning in. Tune to our next episode. Till then, take care.